And here we are on a glorious day, on a day of days, 420 no less. We are not only blessed with Weed Day, but we're also blessed with the conviction, finally, of a certain Derek Chauvin. This is a long time coming. George Floyd was killed by this man over a year ago, and we are now finally reaching something approximating accountability for police, for Chauvin, for this country, for the systems that we have to finally be put to task for the crimes that they're committing against humanity and the people within America's borders. Now, as amazing as it is to finally see this, and I see a lot of people throwing around the word justice, and some people have already said something along these lines, but I want to say it here as well. This is not justice. Justice means you have to be able to get something back. You have to be able to give, you have to restore. There has to be some sort of recompense for something that happened. This is not justice. George Floyd is not coming back. He's dead. The people in his life have to suffer that. The people who witnessed him slowly die over the course of almost 10 minutes will not get to unsee that. Everyone who saw that picture will not get to unsee that. And that and his name will forever be etched into the people who lost their lives to police cruelty, police violence in this country forever. There's not going to be anything bringing that back. But finally, we can reach some sort of accountability for this person and the police system that we have that have failed Black people and have failed the country since its inception. And I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this face. Look at this man's face. This is the face of someone who probably hasn't had to experience any sort of real accountability for his actions ever since becoming a police officer. This guy has had multiple upon multiple accusations of abuse in his role as a cop, and he got away with it every single time. But this time was different. This time it was so egregious. He was so emboldened. He didn't care at all for the life of Chauvin. That face of that terror that he felt to know that a massive portion of his life is just going to be gone behind bars is only a fraction of the amount of pain that George Floyd felt under his knee a year ago. And while it's good that this happened, I'm extremely excited. I'm so excited. I bought some alcohol. I'm excited for this. All right. I'm gonna get turned up over this, right? Just know that, to put it into perspective, Chauvin is the seventh, I can count it on my hands, seventh ever cop to be arrested in the line of duty, to be convicted in the line of duty for a crime that they committed against a citizen that they have sworn to protect and serve. In that same time period, 15,000 people died in police killings. 15,000. So I'd like you to tell me, do we really think that only 7 of those 15,000 shootings or deaths, because they're not all just shootings, they're deaths. Police have killed 15,000 people. In those 15,000 police killings, only 7 of them were really guilty? Really? I don't really think so. I don't even think in this system, I don't think a single person actually genuinely believes that only 7 of the 15,000 killings, only 7 police in the 15,000 killings were guilty. I'm sorry, Chauvin didn't make up 1/3 of those killings. He didn't himself. Even though he may have really wanted to, he didn't. I'm extremely excited that we can finally call this what it is, a murder. He was convicted for murder. He's going to jail for murder. He murdered that man. We finally get to see what we all knew the second we all saw that video. That guy was murdered. And on that note, I'd love to see in the next couple of days, because we are going to be talking about this for years to come. All right. And I hope that we're still around for years to come, but we're going to be talking about this for years to come, about conservatives bitching and moaning and crying and complaining and wishing that every single police officer just resigns so those filthy Democrats would never be able to feel the glory, the glorious glow of the police sirens and lights on their skin ever again. They will be lost without lost without their city's finest. It's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. All right. Every single cop that was called on by the prosecution was more than happy to absolutely rail Chauvin. Like every single thing he did was wrong. He could have saved, even after he put his knee on his neck, he could have tried to save save Floyd, but he didn't, because he didn't care. He couldn't care any less. He didn't care to put him in the side recovery position. He didn't care to try to give him CPR. He didn't care to get off of him when even other officers were saying, this guy looks like he's dying. He didn't care. He did not care. And this is the face that he makes. He makes this face after he spent all of that time, 10 minutes. Mind you, even in like shootings, that's a split-second decision. You move your finger, you put your finger on the trigger, you move your finger a less than a quarter of an inch, and that bullet is gone and it's killed somebody. That is a split-second blink of an eye decision. He made the conscious decision every single minute, every single second, every single moment, and every single moment in between there to keep his knee on George Floyd and slowly kill him as he crushed him beneath his body weight. I don't want to hear a word from this guy about how sorry he is. He can get fucked, but you know who else can get fucked? All the conservatives who are crying and crying and crying about how this is so awful, and how the leftist media is spinning this, and everyone's going to be so blown away when it finally comes out that Chauvin was actually innocent because nobody was paying attention but them. Only the big brain conservatives were paying attention, and they were seeing what they were seeing, and they knew that Chauvin, he was so innocent, my dude. Man, he put his knee on George Floyd's neck, and then the fentanyl just kicked in and just instantly killed him. All right. Him screaming for help, that wasn't him screaming for help because he was actually choking to death under Chauvin's knee. No, it was because on the inside, he was boxing. He was in a no holds bar duel with the fentanyl demon in his head. That was like trying to pull the plug on him. All right. And he lost. But no, we all know that's a fabrication. We all know that's stupid. We all know that they were lying through their teeth, because they can't stand, and they're molding right now because they can't stand a society that for an instant, a brief moment in time, we have a flicker of hope, a flicker of actual accountability for cops in this country, just for a second in time. In the hundreds and hundreds of years that people have been abused by this police system, doing exactly what it was made to do: catch and or kill. People of color, people in the margins of society. They can't stand to live in a society that actually cares for those people. For once, has some pretends to have a conscience. For once, they can't even imagine that. They can't think of it. It's so disheartening. But we can be happy, only for a brief moment in time. Today, we can be happy because finally, Chauvin will not be allowed to be on the streets trying to take more lives from us. He can just sit in jail and he can think about what he did, because what he did was awful.